we're talking about the International Space Hall Induction Ceremony and Founders Day activities. The event will be held on Saturday, October 3rd, Founders Day at the museum, beginning at 9 a.m. It's a celebration of the museum's opening in 1976. This community event has the primary mission of encouraging children to become involved in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And joining us now to tell us more about this event is Christopher Orwell, the Executive Director of the New Mexico Museum of Space History, and Alamogordo. Thank you so much for coming in.
Well, thank you as always for having me on.
So give us a kind of a background on the International Space Hall of Fame, on the museum.
Yeah, well, it started up, as you said, in 1976 as a Hall of Fame, and it was an economic development kind of thing, if you think about it, to bring people into the area, to honor those that were involved with the space program in its infancy, and especially with so much space history having occurred in New Mexico, it was a logical place for it. It kind of morphed into a museum over the years.
Very cool. And there's inductees. So who are the inductees for 2015?
Well, we went a little bit different, you know, because with inductees, we're always taking a look at you know, those who inspired, those who achieved, etc. This year, it's really about inspiration and those in Hollywood that inspired those that traveled into space or that led the way there in the engineering. So we have George Pal, we have George Méliès, we have Fritz Lang, we have George Lucas, and Walt Disney. So most people have heard of the last two, but a lot of people may not have heard of the first three because they're earlier in the film industry.
Yeah. Now, who's the keynote speaker for the induction ceremony?
Our keynote speaker this year is Al Worden, who flew to the moon. He's one of the 24 men who flew to the moon, and he flew on Apollo 15 as the command module pilot. So absolutely hilarious individual and really fun to listen to when he talks.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, what kinds of activities are planned for the day?
During the day, we do what's called Founders Day activities, you know, back to our founding back in 1976. So we're going to have rocket building. The first 500 kids there get free rockets to build, and we'll try and launch as many of them as we can during the day as well. We have a lot of what we call vendors, but they're really folks who are involved with science, technology, engineering, and math fields, and they're doing activities, they're showing the products and things like that. So it's really a chance to get in there and get educated and have fun at the same time.
And I think it's a great way to get kids to really get into the STEM.
Yeah, exactly. And that portion of the day is completely free. Free admission to the museum, free time, you know, for the activities, etc. So that's all free. Obviously, the event is not.
Yeah. Okay. Now, what other activities do you guys have planned for October?
Oh, in October, well, we've got, at the end of the month, we've got what we call Murder at Comet Con. Not Comic Con, but Comet Con. And it's a murder mystery dinner party at the museum. So, and then earlier in the month, we're doing another event. We're doing a Sunday brunch with the author of a new book about Colonel Stapp, who rode the rocket sled out there at White Sands, or at Holloman Air Force Base, up to 632 miles an hour and became the fastest man on Earth. And so there's a new book out on him, potential movie coming out of that as well. But in any case, the author's going to be there and do a talk for us as well.
That is so cool. Okay, so when, where, time, location? For
the Founders Day activities, everything starts, you know, early in the morning, so 9 o'clock, and then continues throughout the day. The event itself, the induction ceremony and the reception, 5:30 cocktail hour, 6 o'clock is when the dinner actually starts, and then there's a VIP reception afterwards that is a separate ticketed event, but that's very exclusive kind of thing for a little bit of access to the astronaut and guests.
Great. And if somebody wants to find more information, what's your website?
They just go to the website, nmspacemuseum.org.
Great. Thank you so much for coming in. This is awesome. I think the kids would love it. I know my kid would. I know Chad's kid would love it. And if you guys want any information on this event, just head over to casa.com.